Hello everybody and welcome to my next, what is this, the longest title in the history of titles, reading all of my May books in the next month or the month that I get them. So it is July 1st that I am filming this intro because I actually have already finished this video, which is what we need to talk about. We need to talk about this. I'm going to be upfront about what happens in this video because some people are not going to want to watch this, and I don't want you guys to get to the end of this video and be like, oh my gosh, that was so dumb. That was a waste of my time. Because it felt like a waste of my time. So I don't want to waste any of your time. But this is still my reviews on these books. And because it's a part of a series, I didn't feel like scrapping this video because I really want to scrap this video. I, unfortunately, did not finish a single book in this video. I DNF'd every single thing that I read. And it's a major bummer. And I fought with some of these to finish them because I really didn't want to go through like a whole video of not reading anything and just at the end being like, I DNF'd everything, but that is exactly what happened. So I'm so sorry, but I do have reviews for all the books and why I DNF them and who I think should read them. Because I actually don't think most of them are bad books. They're just specifically not for me. And most of them I actually found very boring. And that is like almost worse than hating a book. Like I will read a book sometimes. I will not finish a book most of the time if I find it really, really boring. So yeah, I literally just finished filming this vlog, so I figured I would pop on here and let you guys know what I attempted to read for this video and how sad I am that it ended up so bad. Man, these book boxes, they are on their last leg. They are on their last leg about what is happening here. I'm ready to cancel everything. Like I am on the ledge. I'm ready to cancel everything. But anyway, first off, we have Overgrowth. I already got rid of my copy. Didn't think about doing this whole intro thing, but I already got rid of my copy. Sent it to one of my friends who is actually going to enjoy owning a copy of that. So we read Overgrowth in this, which is like a body snatcher, alien horror type story. It is sci-fi, and that came from Sci-Fi Owlcrate subscription. Then we had our Afterlight pick, Any Trope But You, which is like a cutesy rom-com. That takes place in Alaska. Then we have the Young Adult Owlcrate, which is Salvation. Every time I say the name of this book, it is different, so I apologize for that in advance as well. This was a weird one because this is more of like a magical real, I don't even know what you would call this, but it is very heavy historical fiction, which I'll talk about later. Then, yes, I did DNF this one, guys. The Floating World by Axio. Young adult fantasy. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm really sad about it. And then we had the Illumicrate pick of A Song of Legends Lost. I'm not super surprised. I actually was going to skip the box that this came in, but I think I wanted something that came in the box. I don't remember. It's been a while since I unboxed these. So I think I wanted something like item-wise from this box, and that's why I didn't skip it. So I'm not that surprised that I DNF'd this one, but it's just for a specific reason. So anyway, those are the books that we attempt to read in this video. Just put this on in the background. Should be hopefully over soon. And definitely let me know at the very end what you thought about this video and the books, etc. And make sure you subscribe so you see future content. Hopefully the next video in this series is better, because last month's was good. Last month I had a good time. This month, not so much. May was rough. May was very rough when it came to the book box books. Anyway, let's get right into reading Overgrowth. I don't like this. I'm not even that far into it. I just really don't like how the story is told. It's funny because, so this is the same author. This is Shauna McGuire. This is Shauna McGuire, but Mira Grant is their like horror author, pen name, whatever. And the problem is I literally, I think this is just like a problem with me. All I'm literally reading is Wayward Children's. That's literally what my brain is thinking about, is Wayward Children's. And because that's what it kind of feels like how it's written. And the semi-cringy dialogue works really, really well for stuff that happens in the Wayward Children series. But it's not working for me in this book, unfortunately. I don't like this. I don't like this. Which, I've never loved alien stuff. So I think I forgot that I don't really like alien stuff, except for literally the movie Alien. Like, I love the movie Alien. And stuff that's very specifically that. I don't think I like nature alien stuff, like Body Snatchers. I liked The Host, though, by Stephanie Meyer. I think that more had to do probably with the romance. I don't like how this is written. I don't like how it's written. I don't like I hated how it opened. Like, I actually absolutely despise how it opened, and I really don't like the idea of following this character, because like all I'm thinking about is the beginning of this book, and I really did not like how it opened, and that is just a very much personal preference situation. So I think, man, I'm upset about this because again, it's only been about like 20 pages. 30. I'm at 35 pages. I have zero interest in continuing this book. It's nothing specific. It's just this visceral reaction of, oh my god, I don't want to read this anymore. I really don't like this. You're in one of my bookshelves. And it's also Friday night, so you may be able to hear my husband, who is on video games right now, so you may be able to hear him from way over there in the other room. He is quite a loud person. Anyway, I have an update. I started reading Salvation. I got to about 80 pages. And I am DNFing it. This one hurts more than Overgrowth. Overgrowth just straight up wasn't my vibe of sci-fi horror. And I just didn't like the writing style. This one, man, I really wanted to like this one. This is like a Zorro retelling. And I definitely felt that. But unfortunately, this feels so historical fiction that I just wasn't interested in it. And the writing is very, very dry. And man, and that makes me really sad. I personally just can't get into this because it is so historical fiction, like intensely so. And it's focusing more on the politics of the time period, which is a very Zorro thing, but I think I could focus on Zorro more because it was a movie. For some reason, I cannot get into books that are historical fiction, especially when it's like the politics of the history. If it's fantasy, for some reason I can do the politics of the fantasy world, but if it's real historical fiction, I don't know what it is, but my brain completely zones out, and so I just was not having a great time reading this, to be honest. I like the main character. I think she's pretty cool. I like generally what was going on, but I could not stay focused on this. And there are so many books out here. I'm literally staring at so many of them that I would prefer to read than get through a book and give it 2 to 3 stars, because I don't see this being anything higher than a 3. And I also don't like that it already introduced like the romantic interest, and it was immediately like very insta-lovey, like instantly she was like, oh my gosh, and like I'm kind of obsessed with him already. And I feel like we are told a lot that she is this Zorro-esque character. She is Salvation. She is supposed to be this terrifying person, but none of that is really shown. So I just like didn't buy that she was this crazy badass fighter, etc. So with all of that being said, I do think this is going to be for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy this, but I do think it's going to be more people who enjoy historical young adult fiction than fantasy young adult fiction. Like this just, I don't know, there's not much to me that is fantasy in this, except that there is like they mine this like magic dust or something, like instead of like the gold rush, it's like mining magic, and that is the only fantasy aspect about this. Rest of it really is just historical fiction, and it does seem like it's going to be more about liberation. I mean, it's Zorro. It's Zorro, but I don't really want to read that. I want to watch the Zorro movie. So that is unfortunate. I really thought that this could be like a historical fiction that I would enjoy, but yet again, we have struck out. So am I that surprised? No, I am glad I gave it a shot, but unfortunately, I was not enjoying this. It was just too dry. I was too bored, and I just really don't want to read it anymore. So we're gonna DNF it at about 80 pages. And now I have gone from thinking I was reading 7 books this month to The Night and the Moth is definitely going to be our August pick. And then we have DNF'd Overgrowth and Salvation. So now we're down to 3 books. That was definitely not what I was expecting. So we have The Floating World, which 100%, there's no way this is going to be, well, I would have said that about Immortal, and I wanted to DNF Immortal so badly by Sulan Tan, so I will never say anything is 100%, but 99.9% probability I will not DNF this one. Then we have Any Trope But You, which is what I think we're going to pick next, and then we have the toss-up. For me, in this vlog, if I was to DNF any of them, it was going to be this one just because it is a bit more outside of my comfort zone relating to fantasy books. And it's also the Illumicrate, and I notoriously have worse luck with the Illumicrates than anybody else. I'm really hoping I like this. I'm really hoping Illumicrate turns it around. This book is stunning. I will also probably leave it to last. It's just like, I don't know. I just never want to pick up the Illumicrate books because I feel so jaded by them. And I also just don't want to read anything serious. Like, we literally just read The Raven Scholar. I don't want to read anything else that is chunky. So I think that means we're going to go with Any Trope But You. I think this will be fun. I think this will be short and cute. And I think I just want to have a good time right now. Okay, it is Saturday morning and I am whipping through these books, aka this one is on the borderline of being DNF'd. I actually DNF'd it last night and then I changed my mind this morning to try and give it more of a chance, although this author is on my shit list right now. It's probably about 2-3 o'clock. We're watching the US Open and we did go to the farmer's market this morning. It was really fun. Unfortunately, one of the ladies that we normally go to get our eggs was not there. So we had to get eggs from our meat people, which they're good, but they're not as good as hers because the lady that we normally get them from is like a very small farm and her chickens are free roam in her garden. And so the eggs are super flavorful and they're so good. So sadly, she was not there. And my husband also buys the cookies that she makes as well. It's just a Martha Stewart recipe, but he's obsessed with them. So that was really sad. And I normally get a blueberry muffin from her too. So she was not there, which was very sad. And then our bread lady, I'm actually really glad this ended up happening. Normally from our bread lady, we get a loaf of sourdough and we get, sometimes she makes like specialty items. And right now her specialty item is a focaccia cinnamon roll bread. So good. It's so good. And then she also always does some type of flavor of scones. And so we got a sourdough bread loaf, but it was Asiago. She already had run out of her regular ones, which was crazy. It was literally 9:08. The farmer's market opens at 9. She sells out so fast. So anyway, she also didn't have any of the cinnamon rolls separate. So we ended up having to buy it in a Father's Day box, which came with 2 of the cinnamon rolls, which works because one for me, one for my husband. 2 of the chocolate espresso scones, which I like. And then 2 of a new thing. It's chive and bacon scones. And they're so good. I didn't think I was gonna, I was unsure if I was gonna like them, but they taste like buttered, cheesy biscuits. They're so good. They're definitely not supposed to be like the texture of scones, but they're so good. The sad part is she didn't have any regular scones. So normally my husband will get like her lemon scones that she does, but she didn't have any of those separately. So we kind of like struck out quite a few times during the farmer's market this morning, but we were able to get the meat that we get. We did get eggs from somebody else, and then we did get that box in our bread, so it went okay. And then we also did go to a second farmer's market that we sometimes go to. Normally it's like 50-50 whether we decide to go over there or not, but we had some extra time, so we're like, okay, why not? And we went over there and got some more sweets, which we did not need. But that was this morning. I do want to give an update about Any Trope But You. We're on borderline territory of DNFing. Borderline territory of DNFing because this author, I feel like this is so weird. It only got saved because I kept, well, part of it got saved because I kept reading and she kind of corrected something she did in this book. But there was another thing that she did in this book that is one of the things that can make me quit reading an author altogether, like very quickly. So the first thing is there is a moose in this, and so the point is that they're in Alaska. So she is a romance author and she ends up getting canceled because somebody hacked her computer and found something on her computer and released it to the wild, and she has been canceled. And so her sister kind of signs her up for this big vacation where she can reinvent herself as a writer, and she wants to become like a thriller mystery writer instead of being a romance writer. So she goes to this secluded Alaskan house cabin type thing, and that's where she meets this guy. And that's pretty much where I'm at, is she meets this guy, and that is where I stopped because I got really angry last night. So there's a part where she runs into this brown furry animal, freaks out, and jumps into the arms of the lumberjack guy. And this is literally upon meeting him. And she turns around and she's like, oh, oh, it wasn't a bear, it's a moose. And I'm sitting there going, oh shit, that's a moose. Like, oh my God. So when we went to Alaska, I literally went to Alaska in July. One of the things that they kept mentioning over and over and over again, anytime we watch something in an area that relates, like that has moose, they literally tell you how dangerous they can be. Like, they're generally not going to go out of their way to attack anybody, but they are threatened pretty easily and they will charge you if they feel necessary, especially if you're up close to one. So they basically just tell you to stay out of their way, go indoors if you come across one, get in your car, just stay away from them. They're actually very, very dangerous. And so the fact that she's just like, oh, it's not a big deal, it's a moose, I ran away from something harmless, I was like, girl, what? What? Her main male character does say like, hey, it's actually like my dad started feeding it. It is illegal to feed in Alaska, but my dad started it and now it's basically our pet. And I'm just like, ugh, I don't know. Like, I feel like the idea of having a moose pet is like really cute and all, but it's also really dangerous to kind of like highlight that that is a thing that is going on. And apparently, so I went on to the Alaska website specifically about moose, and one of the big things is it's illegal to feed them because it actually makes them aggressive. So apparently moose will get used to humans feeding them, and when they see a human, they'll like attack them if they don't feed them. So I find that very irresponsible kind of to have that in here, but I am trying to suspend that. I'm trying to suspend that. I can get over that. It just feels a tad irresponsible to have that in here. The thing that really made me want to quit this book, and will make me often, like I said, put a author on a no-buy list. They're on a banned books in this house list. She is skating on thin ice. If there is one more thing that she does that I don't like, I will be DNFing it, and this will be a no-buy author. I am very much triggered about irritable bowel syndrome. It was such a popular thing, it still is, to make fun of. It's something that people make fun of all the time. And it has to do with like the smell, and people are grossed out by it. And I've had irritable bowel syndrome since I was in high school. And do you know how traumatizing it is to be a 16-year-old having a horrible stomach ache in a public restroom in a high school? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I cried in the bathroom a couple of times because I was afraid someone would walk in while I was going to the bathroom. And I still have issues with public restrooms. Like, I still am traumatized by public restrooms when I inevitably get sick, because it happens. Most of the time it's random. There's normally not something I can do to avoid the situation. So it's not funny to make fun of it. And she says this line that I was just like, that's so rude. I can't find it right now and I don't have the patience to do it, but it basically is, she was in this car in a cab with somebody and I guess they farted or something, and she makes a comment about how she probably smells like Uncle blah blah blah's IBS. And I was like, that's so vile. Like, that's such not, like, that's not funny. Like, it's actually not funny. So that really ticked me off and I stopped reading it at that point. So I don't know how much farther I'm going to get into this book. And it was like 30 pages in that she already did this. And the writing is already cringe. Like, everything about this book is super cringy so far. The dialogue, our main character is walking cringe. The situation is already super cringe. So I'm not enjoying this very much, so I don't know how much farther we're going to get into this, but I am going to give it a couple more pages. I'm going to try for about 50 more pages just to see if there's any sort of redeeming anything. Okay, so I actually ended up giving myself the rest of the day to decide on this book, but I actually re-DNF'd it about 20 minutes after I filmed that update because I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I hate this main character. The book is so, you know what? If you like this book, I would skip ahead. I would skip ahead into the next section because I'm going to rip this book a new one and I'm not going to be nice about it. And it's probably the meanest I've ever been in a NetGalley review. Like, try to be as critical as possible in NetGalley reviews and just reviews in general. I don't ever try to actually be mean about things, but it is rare that I come across a book that makes me this angry just in general. And you know, if you're gonna make fun of people with irritable bowel syndrome, I'm gonna be mean right back. Honestly, to me, this goes to the editing team. This isn't even a, well, I'm not a fan of what the author did, but this is to the editing team. How could you let a lot of this stuff go? Like, I don't understand. To me, this is absolutely a catastrophe of a book. Like, this is probably one of the worst books that I have attempted to read in a really long time. If I had finished this, I feel like it would have been a 1, maybe a 2 if I ended up liking something about it. But I couldn't even get past 40 pages of this book without wanting to tear my eyeballs out. The writing isn't even that bad. It's just, I talked about it before. It's really, really cringy. It is incredibly insensitive. Our main character, Margot, is one of the rudest and self-centered people I have ever read about. And just because you take care of your sister who has a autoimmune disease, who is bedbound for a lot of their life, and you are their primary caretaker, does not immediately mean that you're a good person. I feel like people confuse that sometimes. Just because you are a caretaker and you care about one person in your life does not mean you are not a self-centered person. You just happen to also put that person within your orbit, but anyone else outside of the orbit, you feel like everyone else should revolve around you. And that is how this character acts. I cannot stand her. And she's an idiot. Like, she's an idiot. Like, I literally can't. The stuff that she says was driving me insane. She is actually kind of a moron. And that is something I cannot abide by. I cannot read from a perspective of a character who is this much of a moron. So I can't do it. I can't do it. The IBS comments, the moose stuff, the idiotic things that the main character is doing, I cannot do it. And then plus the cringy writing. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not interested in continuing this book. I hate this book. I hate this book. I feel like in every one of these videos, we hit the point where anger takes over, and we have officially hit that point. Also, because I'm a little bit nervous, because I was actually looking up, I don't have a Kindle of The Floating World, so I would definitely have to physically read that one. But I do have a Kindle of The Song of Legends Lost. I was like, okay, let me check out what's going on with that. There's like 7 pages of glossary at the beginning of characters, and I was like, oh no, I don't do well with that. And that's not on the book. That's on me. I don't do well with lots of characters. Like, we know that with the Raven Scholar. That's something I struggled with the Raven Scholar. And this has even more characters. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I think I'm going to, I am very much debating what I'm going to do right now, because I don't know if I want to continue doing this video right now. I feel like I need to take a break from it. Oh, guys. This is gonna be the shortest vlog in history of these vlogs, especially with it having been supposed to be reading 5 books. Song of Legends Lost. This is a complicated one. This is a complicated one. Ooh, it is dusty. Look how dusty that is. Dang. You just didn't pretend you didn't see that. It's also a mess. Like, everything is a mess right now, okay? We started cleaning up the living room, but our bedroom is always a mess. Like, I feel like it's never not a mess, which is why I don't do things in here. Filming wise. Song of Legends Lost. This is just not my style of book. I mean, that's what this one comes down to. This is not a Illumicrate picked a bad book. This is not a bad book at all. This is just not my style of book. I am so bored. I'm so bored. There is too much going on for me to pay proper attention to. It's basically like the Raven Scholar was very linear, very easy to follow, just very easily readable. It had a couple things that were kind of difficult to follow along with, but for a high fantasy-esque book, it was definitely on the easier side of things to follow along with. Unfortunately, this is significantly harder to follow along with, like, significantly harder. I'm 50 pages in exactly, and I could not tell you anything that was happening. Not a single thing could I tell you what was going on. And I just know from what has happened and what I do kind of comprehend, this just isn't the story that I'm really going to enjoy. And I don't want to read this book and give it a low rating because I know it's not for me. That's where I'm at with this one. So this one was a risk, and I knew that too. Like, I knew getting this one, I was like, this is not my type of fantasy that I generally like. So this could definitely be a DNF, and it has turned out to be a DNF. But this is like the least offensive of the DNFs. Like, this is arguably a really good book. It's really, really good writing. It's just not my style of fantasy. It is very wartime specific things going on with that high fantasy feel, with that epic feel to it, that I just don't really particularly enjoy very much. I would recommend this to people who generally like more highbrow fantasy, more political fantasy. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. This video has exhausted me. Like, it's definitely put me in a bit of a reading slump, which isn't helping the situation. I don't think it would have helped much if I was in a more reading mood for this one, but I feel so meh. I did go in and skip some boxes. I'm honestly thinking about canceling Young Adult Owlcrate. I am honestly thinking about it. I think I might skip. I think if they're doing a book that I really, really want, and it doesn't have a pretty edition in regular stores, I think I'll get the Owlcrate. But other than that, I think I'm gonna start skipping Owlcrate. So anyway, I am DNFing this for the reasons that I said. I'm really sad about it. It is really pretty, but it just doesn't work for me. It is time for my very first update for the floating world. I'm really not going to say much at this point about it because I have tried to read it twice now. I will finish this book. I will finish it. But I am also not enjoying this one that much. And I think it's mostly because I don't understand, like, what's happening in this world. Sorry, I was trying to fix my heating pad. It's not really explained very well. Like, I just reread the first 7 chapters. 7 chapters, because I think I was on like chapter 11, and I was sitting there going, I don't really understand this world. Like, what is actually happening? And so I was like, I must have missed something, because I started reading this when I was definitely at like a low in my health. Like, I had a huge flare up. I've had 2 during this month and a half, combined with the mouth pain. So it's not just the mouth pain, it's also my other nerve pain. Freaked out, mostly because of stress, probably. It always freaks out when it comes to stress, and then gets worse the more stressed I am. But I'm stressed because I'm in pain, so then the stress causes more pain. It's a great cycle of things. So I'm trying to stay calm. I feel like I am doing a little bit better of that right now. Yeah, I was like, okay, maybe I just read, like, I misread something or didn't read something in my slightly hallucinogenic state. No, I didn't miss anything. It's still, the world just makes absolutely no sense to me, which is sad, because like I'm enjoying parts of it. I don't really care about Sunho's part of it. Like, I really don't. I could do without his chapters. I could also do without Jael's chapters. I literally just want Ren's chapters. I think this is one of those books that definitely could have just probably been one point of view, potentially, or I just don't care about the others. Like, I don't care what's happening with all the other stuff, which I think is arguably the bigger part of the book, and the part that I probably should care about the most right now, because that seems to be the more important side of things. And I feel like we're trying to just slowly get to know Ren over time, but that's who I want to follow. So I'm just like not having the best time. So anyway, you're following 2 characters, Ren and Sunho, and Ren is in hiding. That's not a spoiler or anything, but she is with this traveling troupe, and she has some sort of special powers. And it turns out that a group of people, this is where I get confused, is I don't exactly know who these people are. The Serenians are after her. We're not sure why. That hasn't been told to us by any party. But she does have some sort of powers, and I'm assuming that's it. It does seem like she escaped from somewhere, and they're trying to get her back, but we don't know why. Some groups will kill her, and some groups she's supposed to be seized alive. So that is interesting. So it's not like she's like a long-lost princess that's gonna take power or something like that. She could be a long-lost princess, I guess, and this is like the current line trying to exterminate her. And so that's her perspective, and something tragic happens, and she has to go back to where she's from, I think, in order to save this person. And there's like demons in this world, and that is what attacked them. And are the Serenians, are they part demon? is that, like, that's why I'm confused, because Sunho seems like he's a Serenian, and again, that's not a surprise. He has, like, lost memories, but there's certain things that he remembers, so we know, like, very little about him, which is never my favorite thing. Amnesia is never my favorite plotline. It's working okay right now, but I just don't really care. So Sunho is trying to figure out his past, and the only clue he has to his past is that he has a brother. So he's trying to find this brother, and the only information he knows is that he was in the army for the Serenians, I think. I don't remember exactly who he was. I think that's who he was in the army for. And so he's always, like, asking for clues as to where his brother could be. And so he finally gets this clue, and it gets him hired as not a mercenary, but I mean, they're kind of mercenaries, but he's not exactly a mercenary because the group he's working for wants her alive, not dead. I'm going to continue my reread because, again, I'm still rereading until, like, chapter 11 or chapter 12, and I'm skimming a little bit just because there's some chapters that I remember more vividly than others. But yeah, weird situation going on. So I'm also not really enjoying this one, but I will read a book in this vlog. I refuse to DNF everything. I also have to film an intro for this, which is really awkward because I already got rid of Overgrowth. One of my friends, Amy, wanted it, so I just sent it to her because I was like, I don't need it. And then I forgot that I have to film the intro of this and the finale, the outro, the end. I don't know. It's been a rough morning. It's like 7 in the morning, and I don't like the fact that it is 7 in the morning. Yeah, so I'm just gonna have to throw up a picture of it, which is so super fun. Super fun. So the thumbnail will not have Overgrowth in it. Actually, I guess it might. It depends how I'm gonna do the thumbnail. I don't know how I'm gonna do the thumbnail. Okay. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm gonna continue reading a little bit, watch a little bit of TV. I'm also really freaking annoyed because I started watching The Recruit on Netflix, and I should know better. I should know better to know that Netflix just loves canceling things. And so I started watching it, and it's amazing. Like, it's so good. And I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be like 8 seasons eventually. This is gonna be so good. And so there's only 2 out right now. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna catch up on 2. And then next year, another one's, it's gonna be so good. I'm gonna have a season of this a year. I'm so excited about it. Like, Ginny and Georgia is like my new obsession. And I've watched all the seasons of that, and I'm obsessed with that. So The Recruit, I'm like, okay, I'm missing Ginny and Georgia, so The Recruit is taking over that. It's funny, but serious. It's so good. And then I found out they canceled it. So I'm gonna watch the 2 seasons because it's definitely one of my favorite shows right now, but I am very sad. I am officially back to, actually I'm a chapter past where I stopped the book and then decided to reread it, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm so bored. Like, I'm so bored. There is nothing remotely interesting about this book. And I am more surprised, I feel like, than anybody else that this is happening right now. I so don't like it. But I'm determined to read this. I am determined to finish this, and maybe something will happen. I just feel like I don't understand anything about the world. And I don't know if that's like a me issue where I'm just like not comprehending what's happening, which is I mean, that's possible. That is definitely possible. I feel like it's not. Like, I feel like that's not what's happening. I feel like this isn't explained super well about, like, the world and the difference between the underworld and the floating world in the mid-city, but I think that's also in the underworld. I'm just confused, and I feel like it doesn't help that one of our main characters, Sunho, has memory issues, so, like, we're dealing with me not understanding what's going on, but also him not understanding what's going on, which is not helping. In Ren's point of view, like, I was more interested in hers. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. 124 pages in, and, like, I feel like absolutely nothing has happened. And I don't like this. I don't like this, but I refuse to DNF it. I have to read one book for this video. Like, I have to. Like, there's no other option. I have to finish this book. It is July 1st. Oh my gosh, I've been working on this vlog for so long. Even though it hasn't been that long because I've DNF'd everything. So I just am not reading for this vlog. But it is July 1st. It is the first day of Sunrise on the readathon, so I am watching Katie Coulson do opening day sprints, and then I believe tonight on her Patreon we are watching The Hunger Games, which is going to be really, really fun. But I am dedicated to finish this book today because I don't want to carry it over anymore. I'm done. Like, I'm done with this, but I do need to edit. Like, I gotta finish editing for a video coming out tomorrow. We have come to the end of the video. Oh my gosh. And I did end up DNFing the floating world. Yeah. I really didn't make it that much farther. I think I made it 2 more chapters into the book. I don't even know if I made it a full 2 chapters, but I really didn't like this. I was, and it's not that it's bad. It's just, it was so boring. It was so impossibly boring that I could not pay attention for longer than like 2 pages. And I've been reading this book for, I think, 3 weeks. Yeah, it's probably been about 3 weeks because I started this vlog like at the end of May or beginning like first week of June, and it is the first week of July. And so I've been reading this for forever. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's really, really boring. I felt none of the magic or the intrigue that I felt in any other of Axio's books. I love The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, but I didn't feel any of the magic in this that I felt in that book. The pacing was so bad in this book, and I think a lot of that is the dual POV. I really didn't like the dual POV in this. I love Axio's romance books too, because like I feel like you're so connected to the characters that you are just like rooting for them. In this, I had 0 opinions about the characters, and like I said, I reread this. So I actually read like 250 pages of this book because I went back and reread the first 120. It's just so beyond annoying to then like have the same exact opinion when you get back up to where you were. So that was really, really frustrating. It was just really boring. It was really, really boring, and I'm very disappointed because I thought this this one is supposed to be like a 4 or 5 star prediction, potentially a 5 star, and it's definitely like one of the furthest things from, but it isn't bad. It's not bad. It's just, it's not good. If that makes sense. It's just not very it's not paced very well. To me, this felt very middle grade, which isn't like a thing against middle grade. It's just, I'm not a middle grade reader. And it was just so young feeling. And so if you like young adult, potentially this would be for you. But generally, I don't know many people would find this super entertaining. So DNF this one as well. So I think I gotta do the intro for this video. I think when I do the intro for this video, I'm gonna say up front that I DNF'd everything, because a video like this is not super fun to watch if you like the books in the video. So for me, I want people going in, like, I know it's supposed to be a surprise, like, oh my gosh, what did I give the book? Did I finish the book, etc. But I feel like in a situation like this where I did not like a single thing, normally I would scrap this video. But because this is part of a series and people are waiting for this, I feel like I can't. And I feel like that would be almost not really hiding my opinions of them, but just like, I don't know. So I am going to post it, but I am going to, when I do my intro, I am going to say that I DNF'd all of them. And these are my opinions of why I DNF'd them. And if you want to watch it, continue. If you don't, then it's totally fine. Just wait for the wrap up. So that's probably me hurting myself with views in length of watch time, but I really don't care. Like, I don't want people going into this thinking I read any of these. And I don't think any of them are bad, except for the top one. Any Trope But You really pissed me off. I really didn't like that one. I'm not going to reiterate and go back through why I didn't like it. But yeah, I actually really despise that one, and it's really terrible, and I would not recommend that one. Going through them, Overgrowth first, it just wasn't my style of sci-fi horror. It's just a little too gross for me, and then I also didn't love the dialogue that was going on, so I had no interest in continuing with it. That just didn't work for me because of that. Any Trope But You, despised it. I'm not going to go back into it. You can go rewatch that section if you want to, but I legitimately hated this book, which makes me really sad because the under the dust jacket of this is so cute. Then we had Salvation, and again, kind of just really boring. I could not get into this story. I feel like the beginning, like the really like beginning was really good, but then it just kind of lost me. Like, I really just did get pretty bored of this one. Same thing we just talked about at the Floating World. I was just super bored. I feel like, I don't know which one was more boring. I think it was both of them. They were both pretty bad, but yeah, this one should have been a 5-star probably. This is a favorite author. And then we had A Song of Legends Lost. Honestly, this was just over my head. Like, this is boring to me for what type of fantasy that I like. It just wasn't the type of fantasy I enjoy, and it just completely went over my head with some parts, and I was so lost because of how many characters there were and the intricacies of what was going on that I just could not follow along with this story. So I would say that this is probably the best one out of the pile, but it's not a fantasy story for me. So if you want to try a more higher fantasy, I would go ahead and try this one because I think this could have a lot of stuff that people enjoy. So that's the wrap up. I'm sorry this was so bad. This was so bad. I feel like it went from the best of the series to the worst of the series. Please tell me that you guys like some of these. Please leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought about them, if you liked them, if you didn't like them. And again, I just want to apologize for how bad this video was. I'm still thinking about scrapping it, but I'm not gonna scrap. We'll see when I'm editing it. This could never see the light of day. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, even though it was a bit of a bummer. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to miss any future content. Hopefully next month's book box thing will be a little bit better. And yeah, like I said, leave a comment down below. I guess for the emojis, just leave a sad face. just leave a sad face, because that's how I feel right now. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.